Grand Rapids, Michigan, home of boxer Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Sr. and the uncle as well. Oh, that's Milwaukee. Okay, I guess I wasn't paying close attention. We were talking about Grand Rapids, and I didn't even look at the screen. Milwaukee, I can tell you there's a great Cuban restaurant not far from this shot. I was there for the RNC, and the family happened to be viewers of Rav, and they've got the greatest empanadas I think I've ever had. Milwaukee, good morning, everyone. We're getting you ready for the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange, everyone. As you can see, pre-market trading not looking so hot. The Dow is up. Everything else, though, in the red right now. We'll take you to New York for the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange here in just a few minutes. But first, let's get you over to Emily. Emily, good morning. I was all in Grand Rapids mode. I heard you guys talking about Grand Rapids and didn't even look at the screen to realize that that was Milwaukee. Yeah, shame on me.
You had some great little stories from your time in Milwaukee, or as Alice Cooper calls it, Milwaukee, the good land. If you've ever seen the Wayne's World movie. Hilarious stuff. All right, thanks, Terrence. It is now time for our daily dose of dollars and common sense with American Sunrise Early Edition host and the guy behind the Jake's Takes Substack, Jake Novak. Jake, thank you so much for joining us.
Great to be here, and I like Milwaukee and Grand Rapids, so we all love those places.
Great towns in the Midwest, great towns. Jake, it's all about the big retail chains on Wall Street this week, starting with Home Depot. Break it down for us. How did HD do?
Yeah, so Home Depot came out and this morning and said they kind of just missed their profit and their sales forecast, but they said, hey, we feel good about how much money we're expecting to make for the rest of the year. We're going to stand by those numbers. So Home Depot shares right now, Emily, look like they're going to open 2% higher. That's a big move for a single day for a company like Home Depot. And Emily, this has a lot to do with the fact that people are basically expecting the housing market to pick up. You know, Home Depot, whether you're keeping your old house and fixing it up, or buying a new house and fixing it up, or fixing up your house you're trying to sell, Home Depot makes money either way, right? In all three ways. So people are expecting maybe the housing market to pick up. So that's in addition to the fact that Home Depot isn't hurting that badly from the tariffs. You would think that a lot of those raw materials would kill them. Not so much. They only slightly missed their profit target. They're doing okay, and investors feel like they're going to do even better than okay coming into the year. So 1 down, 2 to go. We've got Target on Thursday. Target tomorrow, Walmart on Thursday, and we'll see how those guys do. Everyone's got their fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, Jake. You know, there's another win for President Trump in the Big Pharma pricing wars. This time it concerns Ozempic. Tell us more about this.
Well, Emily, the only victory involving Ozempic for me is if we can get those commercials off the air all the time. I mean, is there another drug they can possibly advertise? But okay, just kidding. Ozempic, the company that owns Ozempic, is a Danish company called Novo Nordisk. They announced that they are going to sell Ozempic for about half the price to Americans who go on their website and pay in cash. Or obviously, pay it basically straight from their internet site. That's a big win for President Trump. Remember, he sent letters to 17 pharma companies, including Novo Nordisk, last month, telling them they need to find ways to lower their prices. So here they are, Novo Nordisk cutting out the middleman and figuring out they can pass that savings on to a customer. President Trump's happy with whatever they do to fool around with the numbers, do what they have to do, nothing illegal, just finding a way to directly sell something to a customer, and that can lower the price. President Trump wants to deliver for Americans on prescription drugs, and here's another example of that.
And this one has been extraordinarily popular. You hear everybody on Ozempic, the commercials, like you said, Jake. But finally, before we let you go, Facebook's parent company, Meta, and Mark Zuckerberg, they've been all about AI this year. Definitely everything seems to be trending that way. How is that going for Meta?
You know, Emily, is it just me, or is the fascination with AI chatbots and having AI girlfriends and AI friends just the fact that these big tech geeks don't have any social skills? Because Mark Zuckerberg is a huge fan of AI. He thinks the future of Facebook and Meta is having everyone having phony friends and dating AI women. Well, by the way, it's not going so well. They've had to restructure the AI department 4 times just in the last 6 months. And the PR has been terrible, Emily. There have been reports of AI chatbots speaking to children in a sexual way. There was a man who went all the way to New Jersey to try to meet some woman he thought was real. He died on the way because he was rushing to make a train. It turned out the woman was an AI chatbot. AI being the future of Facebook seems to me like this is what happens when you allow big tech geeks who don't know how to talk to girls and didn't have real friends in life run a company. This is a disastrous move, in my opinion. AI has a lot of positives that Facebook and Meta can use, but if they think that real friends will be replaced by AI friends in a successful way, I say no. I don't think this is going to work.
Wow, that is some very, very concerning stories that you just shared there, Jake. My goodness. You know, I think about the male loneliness epidemic that everyone's talking about, but maybe it's just because AI girlfriends are replacing real human connection. Kind of crazy to think about. You know, before we let you go, Jake, I do want to get your take. Yesterday, all eyes were on the White House for that meeting between Trump and Zelensky. How do you think the market is going to respond to that today?
Well, you know, yesterday I told everyone, remember, watch the oil markets. They will tell you whether we made any progress towards peace or not. I told you that if the oil markets go down, that will be sign that we are making some progress towards peace. And sure enough, we are down about $1 on the price of oil per barrel in U.S. light sweet crude. We're at the $62 a barrel level. And by the way, gas prices going down too. We're at $3.13 national average for a gallon. I think we're going to get below $3 really soon as our national average. I know a lot of you paying less than that. So watch those oil markets. If they continue to go down, that means real progress is made. This is why you don't listen to mainstream news media and watch RAV and you take a look at the things that really tell you the truth. Oil going down means we're closer to peace right now. Everything else is just noise.
All right, keeping a close eye on oil. Jake Novak, thank you so much for breaking it all down for us.
My pleasure.
Let's head back to Terrence in Denver for the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange, sponsored by AMAC.
The Association of Mature American Citizens is the conservative voice for Americans 50 and older. AMAC is fighting for the values that you hold dear. Join today. Together, we can write the course of America.
Well, you hear the applause there at the New York Stock Exchange, which means the bell is going to ring here momentarily. And we'll get an idea of how the markets are looking on the second day of trading of the week, this Tuesday morning. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The bell is ringing, which means the markets are now officially open. And just like that, it looks like the Dow is in the green, the S&P 500 still down, and you just saw the Nasdaq changed, and it's now back in the red as well. We'll, of course, continue to monitor all of that as well as precious metals, gold, silver. We'll also keep an eye on VIX and, of course, crude oil. You can see the bottom of our screen not looking so good at the moment. We'll continue to monitor all of that for you, though, throughout the morning. Coming up, hell may have frozen over as Hillary Clinton says she'll nominate President Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize if he ends Russia's war with Ukraine without giving territory to Putin. Of course, she put that on the end. We've got the details on the incredible comment ahead, and we'll talk about whether anyone actually believes her as she's saying what she's saying. To quote Emily, no cap, question mark? All of that coming your way in just a moment.